long it takes before it stops. And we are live. Welcome to NBA Live Before Lock, Monday, December 8th. Just 3 games today and a light week in general. But that doesn't change DFS. We're still going hard. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow us both on Twitter. Us both means me, at Josh Engleman. It means right there, Eric Lindquist. We both make it very easy. It's just our names. No hullabaloo necessary. Eric, what's going on?
Not much. I should probably put the capital E, capital L in there to make it easier on the people. I don't know. I haven't thought about that in 4 or 5 years of doing this, but that's a pretty easy fix. Oh, cool. Underdog giving us Dillon Brooks. Absolutely no new information. Cool. Great to know. But we got the Ant news. We got a 3-game NBA slate. I'm ready to rock.
I'm glad you're ready to rock. I'm also ready to rock. So let's just get into it. We're going to have more than enough time to hit on basically every guy that plays on this slate across DraftKings and FanDuel. So I promise you guys, we'll get there eventually. And if we don't get to someone, that should probably be pretty telling for what our thoughts are here. On DraftKings, it's like in a weird way, pretty flat. We have Colin Gillespie, Trey Murphy, Andrew Nembhard around 40% owned, Dillon Brooks, Pascal Siakam, Russ, DeRozan, DiVincenzo, Benedict Mathurin, all around 30. Got a giant chunk of dudes in like the 15 to 20 range. There's not a lot of outliers. Like there's not really any huge positive leverage or negative leverage as we look down this table. So the floor is yours at the top because we have a decent chunk of like guys that are the best plays today. Who do you think are the best plays today?
Kind of kicking it off, Colin Gillespie definitely stands out for me. When you don't have Devin Booker on a floor and the potential of no Dillon Brooks, Colin Gillespie is just a dude who gets shit done on a basketball floor. I don't know a better way to explain it than that. He will have usage. He will have an assist rate. He will be doing everything offensively that he possibly can. Royce O'Neal also kind of joins that conversation, but like he's priced in a way where, it's not going to be as advantageous. So even though Royce O'Neal has been creating on the offensive end more than you would expect from a Royce O'Neal, but Colin Gillespie is definitely one of those guys that point guard, shooting guard, he's the one piece that we have at the top of the board that has multi-positional eligibility. So we have 4 spots on DraftKings you can fit him into. That makes it pretty easy to be clicking on him. I think he's very clearly the guy that I'm going to have the most of if the slate were to start right now. I think Dillon Brooks becomes the next most interesting purely because he's got the Q tag. Game time decision just came through there. And small forward, we've got shooting guard with Colin Gillespie, point guard, also Colin Gillespie. I think that kind of bypasses a little bit of Trey Murphy, Andrew Nembhard. I'm also confused why Trey Murphy's only got a 21.5 points prop in the marketplace today. I thought that would be a little bit higher. The guy hasn't played fewer than 31 minutes in a single NBA game this year, regardless of game script, regardless of anything. And when you talk about that kind of a minutes floor, we've got him in for just north of 33 minutes today. There's a ceiling to that for sure. So I would say like amongst these top plays, the guys that I like the most, Gillespie's very clearly one for me. I think Brooks purely because of the Q tag at the moment too. And Trey Murphy probably 3 for me as it stands right now. How about you?
Interesting dynamic. Let's get into it. I am 100% with you on Colin Gillespie, and I say 100% because it's likely that he's in everything that I do today. I just have a ton. One of the biggest reasons, and I think you can see it really easily on the boom bust table today, DraftKings has gotten away from MPEs. It used to be that everybody had one. Colin Gillespie has one. And then as you work your way down the ownership list, no. And you get Naz Reid, who's allowed to have one. No. Keldon Johnson has one for some strange reason. A bunch of no's once again. So, like, I think that's helping me get to him a little bit more. But ultimately, he just has preposterous rates with Devin Booker off the floor. And even if those aren't real and it's, half of that is the volume increase that's real, he still looks good here to me at 6,700. I have no problems with Dillon Brooks. He is a guy that I'm right around the field on. We'll see if he's in or not. If he ends up out, everything we said about Gillespie, that dial gets turned up to like 1 billion. Trey Murphy is the one I don't have. I am very light on him. As of right now, the second biggest gap between my exposure and his current projected ownership. I think it's just the $7,800 price tag and just the shooting guard position that's like sort of locking him up there. I'm curious then how you feel about, let's just say, Pascal Siakam, Julius Randle. I guess we could add Anthony Edwards and Fox to that list because that's what we have at the top in this pay up section. Trey Murphy sitting there at 7,800 just behind Steph Castle, which is going to be a tough click.
Yeah.
Are you eschewing someone else at the top to get to be more interested in Murphy?
Yeah, so the Murphy thing, I mean, he's shooting dependent. He's obviously a guy who his true shooting's been great again this year. Not as good of 3-point shooting as in years past, but like still he's shooting dependent to some extent. He's not going to add to the box score the way the other ones are. The other push and pull thing for me is kind of like Pascal Siakam when you take Aaron Nesmith off the floor now as well, who's going to be out for a couple of games. Benedict Mathurin's still eating up enough of the usage there where it's not like he's just completely can't miss kind of territory for me. And I probably have a little bit more interest in Naz Reid than you do based on the fact that I took a less on his underdog fantasy score, or sorry, his prize picks fantasy score, tailing you over in the tail streets. So I probably am just kind of looking at spraying amongst power forwards. I mean, we got Keegan Murray news in, and he's kind of interesting to me as a low-owned option there, way to get away from like very, very chalky builds because, you know, the same way you're talking about being shooting dependent. Sure, that's Keegan Murray too, but decent enough rebound rate, adding enough of like other peripherals there. With Maxime there starting, we don't have a huge sample size to see kind of the way that he's going to trim in on some of these other guys. And obviously sharing the floor with Russell Westbrook is never ideal for trying to get other statistics into your category. But yeah, Keegan Murray, probably 7,200, somebody that I want to be getting to a little bit more at power forward. Naz Reid, I like a little bit more at power forward. So it's kind of like looking at my lineups right now, I'm playing 40 of them, and then I'm going to play the NFL Showdown as well. Feel pretty confident in saying that, like, I'm just pretty flat at power forward with most of these guys, except for taking calculated stands on it, other pieces there, because I have 100% Colin Gillespie right now. I have 60% Trey Murphy, so I'm a little bit higher on him than you are. And Sadiq Bey is somebody that we haven't talked about. He does have the MPE. I'm probably going to be holding hands with like 20-25% of that there as well. So still enough of these MPE guys between Gillespie, Naz Reid, and Sadiq Bey being kind of the primary three. Kind of lost every MPE guy from the Spurs now with Stephon Castle being there, unless we get news that he's not starting.
I would be very surprised by that. But San Antonio's live to start mixing things up. He's questionable. Luke Cornett's questionable. That entire situation could get very weird very quickly if we lose both of those guys. Obviously, we haven't had Castle for 9 games now. So at the very least, he should be limited in some way coming back. We'll see what that ends up being. The guys that I'm losing right now are Siakam, unfortunately, which scares the hell out of me in this matchup, and Trey Murphy, as I mentioned before. Also, pretty light on Sadiq Bey. I'm getting to a bit more of Derek Queen today at 6,400, which legitimately surprised me. I felt like center was a little bit more open. That's not what's happening for me. I'm getting to much more Derek Queen than I ever expected, much more Gobert than I ever expected. I'm getting into that 6K center range, like pretty much every single lineup that I'm putting together between those guys, which I don't hate. I mean, if you start looking at center today, it's not a typical center slate, that's for sure. The most expensive center on today's slate is Derek Queen. Naz Reid is second, but Gobert's at 6K. Mark Williams is at 5,800. And then we don't really have another legit center, depending on the status of Luke Cornett. Everybody else is just a little, some sort of backup. You never know what the minutes are going to be. Are you seeing this sort of the same way? Because I'm kind of just getting to those top 4 dudes way more than anything else.
Yeah, I am too. I wanted to ask you about Evis Missy because it's been like, 3 consecutive games now where they haven't started him. Is there a chance that they go back to him in any kind of way? Do you think that like going forward, we're just we're just going to be getting Evis Missy off the bench here, because with Herb Jones sitting there, Q tag still, like, I think he's probably the most interesting piece that could like change in my lineups between now and lock, or I guess now in post lock for sure. Because
Sure.
what happens if you get Herb Jones sitting? Like, what happens in this scenario where that kind of breaks your way? 4,200, you get him starting alongside Queen, and that would really kind of mitigate my interest there. Part of why I like Sadiq Bey and why I'm like, all right, holding hands and being a little bit over the field on it is the fact that the rebound rate without another big out there, Derek Queen, he's been fine, but like Evis Missy, having him be on the floor there and moving Sadiq Bey to the 3, that would really, really suck. I don't know what you feel about him at 4,200, but he's the one guy that is absolutely not being represented, and he saves you quite a bit of money. Isaiah Jackson, if you've already locked up lineups there, or, people, looks like the field's going to be right around 15% on him. We have, I guess 12.5% at the moment, but I definitely feel confident in saying that Evis Missy, if you don't have Herb Jones out there, is your most likely next starter. Bryce McGowan's probably being a close second, but what do you feel about the Pelicans situation? Because like, I think Derek Queen is fine, but if he's starting alongside Evis Missy, that would really suck. And I would want to get to 4,200 Missy a lot.
I don't really see any scenario where Missy ends up starting. I do think he's incredibly interesting as a 4% owned guy, just given the way his minutes yo-yo all over the place. I'll just read off his 8-minute totals out of the last 10 Pelicans games. He missed 2 games. So he played 8 of the last 10. 12, 16, 21, 29, 29, 20, 24, and then 18 in the most recent game. Like, to me, I'm just interested in him on the off chance that he plays 24 minutes off the bench instead of whatever we're projecting, 18, something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's 4% ownership on a day like today where there's only 3 games. To me, that's the path where like he just gets them off the bench in some way. Like maybe they don't play Carlo Makovich or something. They really legitimately either split Queen and Missy, or in theory they could be alongside of each other at some point in time. The last time Missy did start, it was without Murphy and Jones.
Right.
So they did play like 4 minutes alongside of each other. Typically, they're not doing that, but you can get 1 or 2 minutes in that regard too. But I like Missy. I don't think there's a chance that he starts, but I do like him as one of the few low-owned guys that could like legitimately get an extra 6 minutes, and you wouldn't be surprised.
It's kind of what I'm getting at is like, I think that there's just a placeholder amount that I want to get to, just in the event that anything happens. Obviously, thinned out rotation a little bit, and just 4% seems wrong when we know how many times Derek Queen's been benched at halftime for Evis Missy already this year. That's happened 2 or 3 times. Yeah. I think at least 2, but wanted to at least point that out because he's the one guy that just kind of stands out to me. Otherwise, I really don't have a take. Everybody looks pretty efficient. Jay Huff is now 5,600, but power forward really is useful on this slate as well. Kind of looking through my lineups, I'm overweight to him. I'm overweight to Rudy Gobert. Same thing there. Overweight to Naz Reid. Pretty flat on Derek Queen, and part of that is just kind of making a calculated stand here with Missy. Probably fine to play him in the same lineup, but more than likely they won't show up in the same lineups for me.
Yeah, the real issue at the bottom of center is just that there's like a bunch of different versions of that, whether that's Precious Achiuwa also having that power forward eligibility, which ends up being something. Sohan, depending on the status of Cornette. Isaiah Jackson can fall into minutes. He's already getting a little bit of love, but Oso Ighodaro has been playing a lot more for Phoenix as of late. Just reading back through, and I'll ignore the 32 minutes he played in the start 3 games ago, but it is interesting to note that he can play 32 minutes. 23 last time out, 21 the game before that, 22 in the game before the start. It was 15, 20, and 18 prior to those games. Like, he could realistically play 3-4 extra minutes. He's sitting there at 3,800, no ownership. I assume we don't want to do the Kelly Olynyk experience after Friday, or the Bismack Biyombo experience. Not that I thought that experience would go well, whether he started or not, but there are pieces there at the bottom too. I'm just finding it so much easier to get Queen, to get Reed, to get Gobert, to get Mark Williams. These guys that I'm pretty positive are just going to play those minutes, barring foul trouble or injury.
We had a question about Reynad as well in the chat, and he's up to
Yeah.
5K now. He was 3,400. He's been 3,600. I do think if you told me there was one guy that got steamed up out of the entire center position that isn't named Derek Queen, I think there is a chance that people still click on Maxime more than 25% of the time. He's put up some decent fantasy numbers here in the last few games and starting to show out a little bit. I mean, he was a second round pick and not really notable in any way, shape, or form. And now just kind of getting starts here because they just figure that's better than Drew Eubanks. And I got to agree with them at this point. But this is an uncomfortable one where we're projecting him right around the 25% number. I think box scores might boost him up a little bit. And I'm not sure how much I love it with Keegan Murray in. I don't know how much I love it in a spot where, Jay Huffy's going to be out on the perimeter to some extent. Defensively, like it's not going to be as easy of a spot to potentially, run into some of those double doubles. And now he's a 5K tag as opposed to what 4,500 he was against Miami in that shootout. That's the fastest paced team in the NBA. Not that Indy is slow, but like this is definitely a spot for me where 5K Maxime probably going to end up below it when it's all said and done.
I have 0 of him right now. I'm plenty happy with that. I don't want him when his price is like correct. It's one thing when you can get there early. Now, a hard pass. Like he's not any good. I'm not saying that he can't be good, but like he's not any good right now. I don't want to pay the going rate for him, especially like legitimately. If Luke Cornett is in, there's no chance I want to play him at $100 more expensive than Cornett. Like that, there's no chance that I want to do that, and so I'll just have Cornett in that scenario. But I have precisely 0 shares of him at this moment, and I am more than okay with it.
Yeah, that we're kind of in the same boat there. I think I have 4%, so that's high, not very much.
Center position, man. I'm going to hop over to the FanDuel side just to give people the lay of the land right now because it does look a little bit different. Pascal Siakam is in half of the lineups. De'Aaron Fox is in half of the lineups. Grayson Allen is in half of the lineups, as is DeMar DeRozan. We see Gillespie, Westbrook, Murphy, Levine, and Nembhard all right around 40 as well. So different shape, higher numbers because there's an extra roster spot. The fact that you have to have 2 of each position changes this scope. Centers, obviously, you only get 1. So those numbers look quite a bit different. So these 3 gamers end up having very different vibes depending on which site you're playing on. So keep that in mind. I have one question for you that we haven't talked about yet. It's more of a general question than a DFS question. How are you feeling about Anthony Edwards today? Illness. We know that injuries don't seem to bother him, but we'll see how it feels to have a bum tummy. What do you want to do with Ant today?
Play him. He plays 36 minutes a night in every game script imaginable. It's an awesome spot to play Ant right now. I am 40% right now at the moment. Ran this before the show where we had kind of like nerfed his projection a little bit. Obviously, we got that updated where Rich he ended up getting everything back updated. It looks like, and it's ready to rock. I'm going to play a ton of Ant. I think he's probably on DraftKings where he's $100 away from De'Aaron Fox, your best spend up. FanDuel is a different equation. You had talked about that briefly there, but like 8,300, they just thought Wemby was going to play potentially today or something. Cause I don't know how you get to 8,300 on De'Aaron Fox from what we've seen. He's been in control of the offense here, absent all of these pieces. Sure, they get Castle back, but I'm definitely a fan of the idea to just play a ton of Ant, knowing that the ownership doesn't really have a crazy place to go. And as you said, maybe he's got the bubble guts. Maybe he's got a little bit of something going on, but I really don't care when you go through the minutes. It's the same thing I'm talking about with Trey Murphy to some extent. There's just so many game scripts that some of these star players, on other teams might run into 28, 30, 32 minutes. SGA comes to mind with Oklahoma City, how many blowouts they were in, some of these other pieces. But like Anthony Edwards, whether they're up by 24 or 30 in the fourth quarter, no matter the time, no matter the place, you can basically look at his floor outside of the Dallas game where he played 29 minutes. He has played 36 or more minutes in every game since November 9th. I mean, it is just an automatic type of workload. I'll take that at 50% on a slate like this on a 3-gamer all day long.
That is a crazy price today. I don't get it.
9,500?
No, the 8,300 on Fox.
Oh yeah, the 8,300 on Fox.
Yeah.
My guess is they saw
would
Wembanyama practicing. Oh, here we go.
Great get out in front of that. Here's an interesting one for you. On DraftKings right now, I don't have Edwards. I don't have Fox. And I have one solitary share of Pascal Siakam. The level of balance in the lineups that I'm playing today is nuts.
You have one share of Siakam?
Yeah. For right now, at least.
Okay. Well, I was
I'll tell you what, that's the thing I like the least. That's the thing I like the least.
Okay. How much Randall did you end up with?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because we've talked about a lot of these power forward center guys, and now we're getting into like some 30. Of the spend ups and 30. Okay. That's the right answer, is more than 20% or whatever we're projecting at the moment. 18 and change. Oh yeah. We want more. We got Julius Randle and Ant.
We want more of this right here. CJ cashing here. I banked 3 contests yesterday. I took down the NBA main and Minimax. Then I took down the showdown last night. Shout out to Greg for mentioning 2 uniques. Thank you guys.
Let's go.
Attaboy. Love to see it.
Oh,
absolutely love to see it. You guys can get the Sims if you want, no cost whatsoever. Click the link in the description of this video. You want to sign up through one of our partners, either one of the sports books you see on the screen, one of the pick'em sites you see on the screen. Click the link. There's 4 steps at the top of the screen. Just follow those in order. You'll get a month of the Sims for no cost. And if you sign up at more than one of these sports books and you're qualified and all that works out, you get a month for each one of them. So you can stack these up. You could finish off the rest of the NBA season, realistically, if you've never signed up at these sites before. So follow in CJ's footsteps. Go ahead, come on in, get the Sims, and then just bank a contest. It doesn't get any easier than that, right?
Yeah, just do that. Just win all of the monies and have 3 takedowns. Hey, yesterday I profited and I had 20% Michael Wilson when it was all said and done. So I was happy with my main slate NFL. Showdown played a little bit in the car, but overall, I just jammed 4-2 Texans, and you needed the 5-1 combo. So shout out Kansas City for being completely inept against the Texans. Holy shit, that's a defense. But congratulations on the NBA bank. I have no idea really what happened in the NBA. I bet 1 game yesterday and went over 2 in both props. So shout out me for that. Go team. Go team.
Great work.
Thank you.
Work.
Thank you.
Okay.
Negative 1.
Quick reminder to everybody for what we have today. Kings Pacers locks at 7. Suns Wolves locks at 7:30. Spurs Pelicans locks at 8. So we don't know what news we're going to be getting over the next 35 minutes until we get to this first lock. We know that we'll get a Kings lineup and a Pacers lineup, but do we get any news with the Suns, Wolves, Spurs, and Pels before 7? TBD, but it's kind of important if we do. Willie Jenkins dropping another one in here. Chopped the NFL Minimax last night. Appreciate y'all. Attaboy, Will. Willie.
Good people. Love seeing good people winning things, taking down the money. Willie Jenkins retweeted you, my guy. Congratulations. Always nice to see those 6, 7, 8x screenshots. Those make me happy.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Dude, look at the boom rates when it's sorted by ownership. That's 25 guys within 10 percentage points of each other. It's a really difficult slate.
There are 2. Well, there's one real potential nuke on this slate. One real boom score. And he's the most underrepresented player on the slate by a mile if you get so-and-so out. You can get this person. I know you can do it. You can do it.
Okay. It's
my favorite
big Biombo guy.
No, God, fuck no. Can he play basketball or does he need a wheelchair? Are they playing in the wheelchair Olympics? What are they doing?
Is it
Somebody got
Are we
it
going
in
to
chat.
Phoenix?
Yes,
I'm
we
not
are.
looking at chat right now. We're going to Phoenix. So if Dillon Brooks is out, you want Nigel Hayes? If I'm ever going to get hit with a nuke, that's the way I want it to happen. I just have no idea that it's coming. And just look up and let it take me. Go for it, brother. Which direction are we going here? Nuke of the night. There's obviously the caveat. This is Nuke of the night if Dillon Brooks is out edition.
Yep. Yeah. So Ryan Dunn, I think it probably ends up being the starter, but he's not the nuke. He's not the nuke. He's not the nuke.
I was like,
Jordan
holy
Goodwin
shit,
is
man.
the nuke. Jordan Goodwin
Okay.
is the absolute nuke. 6% right now. And they need offense. They need something coming off the bench. I'm assuming you go Ryan Dunn in the starting unit, and it probably becomes kind of one for one there. Every minute Colin Gillespie is not on the floor, don't you have Jordan Goodwin to some extent out on the floor doing something to create looks for your basketball team? Because, like, there's just so many ways that they get bludgeoned in this game anyway, as it stands. And you have no Jalen Green, you have no Devin Booker. Those were the kind of Jordan Goodwin type dudes that, you know, are obviously good at basketball. Goodwin also potentially gets blowout run. He gets lots of ways to potentially get there for you at 4,700. He's been playing low 20s minutes as is. If you put him up to like 25, 26 minutes, that dude is my favorite play on the slate, bar none. If you see Dillon Brooks out, you see that number out, you just boost Jordan Goodwin until our update. You just boost him, you throw him into your lineups, you figure it out from there because he has shooting guard, small forward, Josh Engleman. Heard that's pretty good for DraftKings.com as well. So Jordan Goodwin, nuke of the night by a mile.
I don't hate it. It definitely scares the shit out of me, though.
Oh, yeah.
I just wonder. Look, he's obviously going to look great. Like, he's 6% owned now. If Brooks goes away, you just give him a couple extra minutes. And he by default, he's going to be, 25, 30% owned, whatever that ends up being. I'm nervous of Booyah for sure at 3,900.
Yep.
I think Nigel Hayes can get a bit more run. He's been coming on a little bit more as of late. But yeah, no, Goodwin's going to look great. No qualms with it. I mean, I'm interested in how many minutes Grayson Allen can play as well.
Yeah. I think he's somebody who's going to probably show up no matter what for me with Dillon Brooks out. But as it stands right now, I don't have a lot of him. I think I have 2 shares of him in my last run. So I don't have a ton of interest in Grayson Allen. I can't imagine Grayson Allen's on the floor in blowout run. I can't imagine Grayson Allen walks into a lot of extra minutes. But yeah, if you get Dillon Brooks out, usage is going somewhere. Colin Gillespie, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, they're all going to look really, really, really good. I'm sure Mark Williams will look better, but Jordan Goodwin, Ryan Dunn potentially starting. That's my best guess at starter there in the absence of Dillon Brooks. I think that's a pretty easy 1-for-1 swap there. He's not good. Ryan Dunn rebounding, I guess. Rebound ladder, Ryan Dunn, even though I really don't even like that. Just give me Jordan Goodwin, please.
I'm going to put a pin in mine for a bit before I start running anything else. So we'll see. We got another team that we have to talk about that we haven't really touched on yet today. The Sacramento Kings. They got a bit more ownership now than they did this morning when I did my show. It was minimal at best. Westbrook, 7,500, 30% owned. DeRozan, 6,500, 30% owned. Levine's at 25. Luke Cornett in.
Good. Didn't want to deal with that.
Neither did I. If they had like an actual backup center, it would have been cool, but I didn't want to play that mess.
Nope.
Monk
when you hear
is
Bismack
15.
Biyombo starting, that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be miserable. Monk got to 15. We don't have Schroeder today. How are you feeling about this Sacramento team? Because they're like, I feel like I'm a little bit more interested in them than I should be.
I'm on the under of the game. It's come down a couple of points in my favor already. 234.5. I thought that was just high for 2 terrible shooting basketball teams. You look at on the season, Sacramento dead last in true shooting percentage, dead last in 3-point percentage. And, the pace kind of tries to make up for it here to some extent in this game. But like, I guess my thing is Zach LaVine has one good game here, and now we're just going to have everybody playing him in a quarter of lineups. That's cool. Good to know. 6,800. Can it happen here against Indy? Sure, it absolutely could, but I have enough other shooting guards that I want to play on this slate. I do like the DraftKings has gotten away from some of the MP where you're going to just have the overlap and you rotate around the same dudes over and over and over again. You get to actually make some stands at the position, and Zach LaVine is definitely one I'm against. Kind of am eating DeMar DeRozan at the moment. I'm not sure really what to make of it. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but it's DeMar DeRozan.
I have a ton.
It's just kind of like I have 30% of him and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it right now because small forward's just meh, like it is most slates, I suppose. But like for me, the main question is what you're doing with Russell Westbrook. I'm right now over the field. I could probably talk myself into not doing such things as well. He's overowned in the tools. It's just that 7,500 Russell Westbrook, when you're talking about tournament winning upside, having him in a third of my lineups and just moving along with my life seems like an okay thing to do. But we do have positive leverage on Malik Monk ever so slightly. We've got so many other shooting guard, point guards to be playing on this slate. So for me, Raynaud, we already talked about, absolutely not. LaVine for me, currently an absolutely not, but I could be talked any way, shape, or form based on what news we get here later. And DeMar DeRozan, 6,500. He's somebody that, what happened?
Ethan Thompson getting the start. I'll let you try to figure out what team that guy's on.
We only have 6 of them, so that helps out a little bit. You got
at least it narrows it down.
Oh my God. So
Ethan
I mean, Garrison Matthews
Thompson
is useless. Garrison Matthews is actually useless at basketball. Like he's not good defensively.
Correct.
He has a 12% usage. He's just garbage. I went on an anti-Garrison Matthews rant last night, so I'm happy to have this guy that I don't actually know who it is that we have 0 minutes projected for starting today. That's fun.
No, we had him in for like 20 minutes.
Oh, we did?
He played like 30 minutes last time out, fucking out of nowhere.
I was being facetious, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like, it's just
like he was a guy you could roster this morning, but you know his minutes range was back to 0 or 28 or whatever. Now, welcome to the old starting lineup, Ethan Thompson with your MPE at 3,500. You are now, I don't know, pretty interesting, I guess.
Yeah, mega chalk in the next 27 minutes. He's going to look great. He's 3,500. We have no sample size.
Yeah, we don't really have any of those,
But I know what Ben Shepherd is at 3,700, so at least he's out, and I don't have to think about that. Where it's like, I don't know what we're gonna get out of this guy, but like, it can't be worse than you were gonna get from Garrison Matthews starting. It can't be worse than you were getting from Ben Shepherd in a vacuum. Like, this is at least a little bit more appealing. No, like.
I mean, appealing is relative, I guess.
You put him at 0.8 fantasy points per minute. We had him for 21 minutes already. Like, do we get aggressive to like 26 is probably the right number as I'm thinking through it, because there's nothing to base it off of, right? Like, what do we even base his minutes on? Like, he played 34, but like, Garrison Matthews is useless. Are we going to put him for 30 minutes? Because then he's going to be the best value we have right now at the moment.
God, this guy stinks.
I'm trying to find some G League stuff on him.
I mean, he shot 33% from 3 in college. That's a 4-year dude. Oy.
Oregon State. That's never good. Oh my God. We went to Bishop Montgomery. For those who know, Bishop Montgomery, that is a basketball school in LA. But let's see.
I mean, look, here's the deal. It doesn't matter whether he's good or not because it's DFS and he's 3,500 and he's point guard, shooting guard, and he's starting. But we shouldn't expect him to be any good. I mean, what? You got to figure what? If they were willing to play Garrison Matthews like 24 minutes at one point in time, they got to be willing to play him 24 minutes, right?
Look, he on a per 36-minute basis. Is that San Francisco? Is that what it is? G League stats. I'm just on Basketball Reference going through it. Per 36, 27 points, 6.5 assists a game, like on a per 36-minute basis. Those are two numbers I can get behind, Josh. Now, obviously, we're trimming that considerably. Like considerably. The usage is not going to be remotely the same when you're playing with actual NBA players as opposed to being the best player on a who gives a fuck team. But
he looks incredible as I'm looking at it right now.
Going
Just
to
in
play
case
a lot.
I don't know if we have an update yet. Yeah. Clear top point per dollar play right now.
Yeah. We're playing tons of this guy. Wonder what it's going to do to my Gillespie, or if I'm just going to play 100% of both of them. That would be really annoying. But like, again, 27, 6, and 4 per game. That's literally his per game average. And that's 37 minutes per game. So I just took his 36 minutes and I just, his per 36 rates from there. I'm just trimming them by like 75%, and it doesn't matter. He's 3,500. So we're just going to
I've got him for 9.5 points, 3.5 boards, 2.5 assists, and we'll call it 1 stock. That's a 5.7x and the highest I have of anybody. So yeah, it's just going to show up. I'm really interested to see how it impacts like Ant, Siakam, Randall, Fox. Because at least with Fox and Edwards, he's like blocking them a bit. It makes it easier to get to Siakam. It makes it way easier to get to Julius Randle.
Yep.
Ooh. That's fun. I didn't see that one coming.
Changes the dynamics. I mean, honestly, if this makes Ant's ownership come down, that's going to make me so happy. Like, I'm going to be so happy because I'll just play all 3 of them. I'll just boom, boom, boom. Guard, shooting guard, point guard. Don't give a shit. Just give them all.
Kenneth Johnson, I can promise you this. No one cuts into Benedict Mathern's shots.
I 100% agree with that. If you saw him play at Arizona,
if somebody does, it's definitely not Ethan Thompson.
Yeah, it would be. If he and Caleb Love had ever played together at Arizona, that'd be about the only person who would cut into him shooting the basketball, or each other shooting the basketball. But fortunately, we didn't have to be succumbed to that bullshit, because that would have been a disaster to watch that team play basketball.
I'm just waiting here to continue to refresh. We got the projections update waiting on the ownership refresh here. Should be in within like a minute or so. Well, that's going to change the scope of everything we saw at the top. Wemby uncertain for Wednesday. It would be really sick if you were back for the Cup game.
Yeah. I mean, we only have 2 gamer on Tuesday, 2 gamer Wednesday. I think it's like 4 games on Thursday. It's just terrible scheduling again. I can't believe they do this year after year after year now. This is the 3rd year of this. I think we've complained every year about it, and yet they continue to do it for us. I saw that a couple weeks ago.
So they didn't do it the first year they did it. They rescheduled all of the teams that didn't play like around these games. Like, we didn't know who it was going to be until like a week out. And then all those extra teams got like rescheduled into these days.
Yeah. I'm
that
sure
didn't happen this year. It's just like a short Monday slate and a short Thursday slate. It's dumb.
Yeah, arenas probably threw a fit, if we're being honest. Like, that's very clearly probably what happened. Is these arenas are they need to show out and have like other shit going on the days that there aren't NBA games, and when you don't know until a week beforehand, kind of a disaster if you're the NBA. So usually if you have like a makeup game, you'll get a makeup game very much towards the end of the season if there's something that happens, like a team gets snowed in or something. But anyway, boy, oh boy, this is interesting.
You know what else is interesting? This is really good timing, because while the ownership updates, the most interesting thing you guys could do right now is sign up at Portfolio EV. The link is in the description. We're trying to preemptively celebrate our boy, Greg Ehrenberg. He's doing the bankroll challenge once again, and he's already taking it to the edge of $200, up from $100. We're a month and a half into the NBA season. It's a pretty decent grind to double your bankroll at that point in time. So this code is going to exist until Greg crosses that $200 threshold. You can get Portfolio EV for 50% off using the promo code 200. All you have to do is click the link in the description. You can grind out those bets in the same way that Greg is, looking for those incremental edges, spread it out over a boatload of bets. Hell, use it to build out some pretty fun parlays as well if you want to, using the parlay generator. Also available for pick'em sites if that's what you're looking for. But the promo code is here. Make sure you're following Greg on Twitter and on Tails so that you can keep up with this bankroll challenge. But promo code 200, 50% off. That could end tonight. If Greg goes over the $200 mark tonight, that code will die tonight. So be aware of it. If you're trying to get in, now's the time. All righty.
We have
Let's
no
refresh.
Ethan props, right? We have no Ethan props. I'm looking.
I would imagine no, not yet.
No, nothing yet.
Let's pull up tiers so I could rip through this for Ace of Spades as fast as possible.
All you, baby.
Lucky me.
Ace of Spade, we love you, though. We absolutely love you. I'm just trying to be proactive with my time here, trying to figure out what the hell Ethan Thompson is going to show up as in the market. I have no clue. You could tell me anything.
Ant Randall, Siakam, Fox is pretty clearly Ant. Murphy, Murray, Westbrook, Mathurin, Bay is going to be Murphy. Pretty clearly, too. So, Ant, Murphy, Colin Gillespie. Nope, not there. Not there. Wow, we moved down the list way further than I was expecting. That's going to be Naz Reid for tier 4. Ooh, it gets bleak at the bottom. Yikes. That's got to be Mark Williams in tier 5. And then 6. I mean, depending on how Phoenix breaks, it's either Goodwin, if you want to preemptively get there. I don't think that that's crazy. Otherwise, it's Raynaud. Boom. 6 tiers. Shout out Ace of Spades. All right, let's refresh this and see what we have. Are we populated?
Yep.
1 minute ago, Ethan Thompson is 29.9% owned on the DraftKings. I assume it's quite a bit lower on FanDuel, just by default.
It's got to be the min on FanDuel, right?
You would think. No, 4,200, 10% owned on FanDuel.
Yeah, don't go crazy on FanDuel. DraftKings, shooting guard, small forward. I mean, you talk about the Goodwin play. That was kind of part of why I liked it so much, and we're still waiting for that. I could still have a boatload of him. In addition, you got to spend your money somewhere still. Looks like forward is just going to be much easier for me to find a path. Power forward specifically, find a path to be spending up nonstop for Siakam, to be spending up for like raw fantasy points now. Plus, again, Ethan Thompson is not going to have the same kind of usage from the G League coming over here, but he is going to be a higher usage guy than Garrison Matthews. So I will say that, like, I can't imagine that if we had this morning Pascal Siakam projected for 43 here, that we wouldn't at least look at potentially trimming a little bit of the usage there. But again, seems as though the assist rate's pretty decent for this dude as well. So I don't know. Probably all things being equal, just keep Siakam because, well, he's the highest. He's the power forward I project for the most fantasy points. So easy game. Just get to him.
Just got a message from Rich. He said Dylan Brooks is apparently going through his pregame and looked pretty good to go in his opinion. Not that that means anything yet, but that is where we stand as of right now.
Well, you know he wants to guard Ant and do all of the ridiculous Dylan Brooks antics, so that'll be fun. Hopefully Ant puts a 40 burger in his mouth hole. That'd make me happy.
He's
do you have any Dylan Brooks right now?
It's crazy. Me running my stuff right now. I was like right around the field before, 30-40%. We'll see. I don't know what Ethan Thompson's about to cause, but it's certainly going to cause something.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the ownership to hit the sim still too. I think it's still, we got it updated 2 minutes ago there. All right. Yeah. We gotta still get the ownership coming through to the sim.
40 burger in his mouth hole. Gonna get that tattoo.
Well, don't try to get a lip tattoo. We know you can't do that.
Yeah, I really need to get that done. It's a bummer. I mean, sort of. It's not like I want it. It's going to be pretty irritating, and I'm not going to enjoy the process behind it. But at some point in time, it will exist.
Our next New York meetup, we'll probably make it a priority. I bet New York, you can get it done. Chicago, they got that good Midwestern capabilities amongst them. They don't want to do that to you. New York, they'll be like, yeah, no, give me your lip, boy. It's time. Let's go.
Yeah, I think I end up with like hepatitis after that, though, which is scary. I might have to take something to avoid that.
Preemptive
shots. Could be bad.
It's a good idea.
Could be bad.
Get your shot ahead of time. Right. You'll be fine.
Who haven't we talked about yet that is interesting? Because there's a lot of names that we probably haven't said all that much on today's slate.
Spurs.
Like I said, I had a bunch of Rudy Gobert earlier. No, we haven't. Let's do it. Let's talk Spurs. 25% ownership to Luke Cornett. Everybody else sub 20. Keldon Johnson, Dylan Harper getting a little bit of love. That's scary as hell to me. I don't know what to do here.
I don't either, but I think everybody in the entire industry assumes Stephon Castle is starting. I think he is the massive, massive favorite to start as he gets inserted here right off the bat. He's only had one practice day, practice yesterday, and he's like ready to go immediately. So shout out modern medicine and life and everything. But this is a team I don't know what to do with at all. I currently have the most of Dylan Harper. That is definitely going to change now that we have Thompson. Cornett is positively leveraged. We talked about Raynaud and how we're not really on board with that. I'm assuming we're both on the Luke Cornett side of things, but I'm still below the field. I still have 20% of him. So yeah, I'm ever so slightly below the field there. And then De'Aaron Fox. This is like a luxury item on DraftKings. FanDuel, you're obviously playing him, but like, yeah, I really like the idea of Fox because I don't know what to look at the minutes for Keldon Johnson, Dylan Harper, Devin Vassell. I don't know what to do with any of these guys. They all look the same. They all have obnoxious price tags. And when you put Castle in there, I'm assuming he starts, and I don't know what those minutes look like, but I do think that Castle at 8K is like, okay, good. Castle's unplayable at 8K, but like, we all want to just play all of these other ancillary pieces that I don't have any confidence for their minutes whatsoever. Do you have a good gauge for any of these Spurs? Because they're going to all be low owned. They have chances to be really low owned. And if you get Herb Jones, I suppose it can be somewhat placeholder-ish, but I think the Spurs are like the biggest headache because if something breaks here, I'm going to kind of kick myself. But like, I currently have like none of these dudes.
I have a very minimal amount of Spurs. The guy that I have the most of is actually Devin Vassell. But I don't have a ton of anything. Like if I pull up the My Player Exposure tab on DraftKings right now, the only name that I can see without scrolling is Vassell. Everybody else I'm very, very limited on. By the way, I'm now up to 20% of Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, Pete was talking about this last night. Again, I don't know what to make of the minutes. I've tried to exchange them and figure out what this, that. I tend to stay away from these spots rather than like have people put money on things I'm just not confident in. I'd prefer we put money on things I'm confident in or that data can back. This just feels like if somebody gets hot, here you go. And also Herb Jones in, thank God.
Nice.
Right. Now Evis Missy will stay 4%. And we can all win all the money together. That'll be fun.
By the way, I have one share of our boy Ethan Thompson.
Stop it.
Telling you. That's what I have. I'm looking at it now.
Okay.
Lineups are in. I'm jamming Colin Gillespie and Derek Queen today. And DeMar DeRozan. You know, just a typical fun day of guys I legitimately can't stand, like DeRozan.
Yep. Yay, NBA DFS. I have a lot more Ethan Thompson than 0%. He's going to probably end up in half of my lineups.
Going to be a rough night for Josh. Look, if Ethan Thompson's the reason that I have a rough night, I can handle that. That one won't hurt my ego all that much. There are others that will for sure, including most of whatever I'm doing paying up today, which appears to be a very minimal experience. We still got 10 minutes to go, baby. This is fun. Did I answer your super chat? I didn't see your super chat. Oh, there we go. Eric, no Raynaud in 20, but what about 50-50?
Sorry, but what about in a 50-50? I don't think he's pulling enough ownership to potentially be that guy at center. We have Luke Cornett, and then I think it could be really anybody.
Yeah,
but I'd rather
Like,
play
look at the
4,900.
look at the ownership at the center spot right now. Like 25, 25, 22, 22, 20. Realistically, like, it's anything in those top 5 dudes, I think.
But if you had to play one in cash, don't you take Cornet over Raynaud? Like, if you're
I
just playing
do,
an optimal
for
cash
sure.
lineup, same. So
I would imagine, yeah.
I think that's the quickest way to answer it, is that if you are talking about one position, the center position specifically, I prefer Cornet for $100 less, and then just kind of optimally building out in the single lineup sim. That's the quickest way to be able to do that. And I've tried to show people this in the NFL streets as well. We're like, hey, you're building out an optimal cash lineup with our projections. This is a very easy way to go about it. Create new lineup. You can do it with the 5% randomness if you're looking for like a couple variations here or there. But otherwise, our optimal has Luke Cornet as I'm looking at it, and you should play it.
Yeah. Pew. Need that money too, oddly enough.
You do.
Couldn't swap those two guys for each other. Don't have that $100. Just out of curiosity, what does it look like if you lock them? I wonder what changes. Gillespie, Murphy, Brooks, Reed, Nemhard, DeRozan, Cornet. So Cornet stays. So Jaden McDaniels gets swapped for somebody?
Yeah.
For DeRozan? Yeah. Ethan Thompson and Jaden McDaniels for DeRozan and Brooks.
Yeah, that bottom one. So is that the first one we built out there? Yeah. So the first one we built out, lineup 2 on the bottom, right? So a little bit higher fantasy point projection. The thing I really like too is it's just eating more of that ownership for 50-50.
Yep.
And that's just going to make me a lot happier. So looking at the two lineups, that first one we built out, Luke Cornet at the center, and then just building it around it optimally with what's on your screen. I think that makes the most sense.
Iron Rel says, I think I want to go Biombo since everybody going Cornet. Yeah, if you're doing that, just send all of your head-to-heads in the next 6 minutes to my account, please, for any amount of money.
What are we doing here?
Don't be afraid to fat finger the zeros or something.
So we took Ethan Thompson down from 26 minutes to like 24 and change. I'm just curious what happens when I add a minute and a half back. I'm taking a look at this. Also, I am using that variance button today on Ethan Thompson as I'm building out some of these because, again, this is just
don't blame you there.
We're gonna ramp that up.
There.
I still haven't seen any props for him. Refresh this. I kind of got busy.
Let me see if I've got anything. I doubt that I do, but let me see if anything's pulling in on my end. Pew.
Books have really, 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 really been against. I was looking at shorting everything Garrison Matthews the other day, and there was nothing. Yeah.
I got nothing.
It's so gross.
That said, he looks pretty good, even though I don't have him in more than one lineup.
There you go. Thanks for your semi support there. But it'll be all right. As far as spend ups go, the one guy I'm boosting one guy in the Sims today. I went the variance route here with Thompson, and I'm sure I'll finish it all out. But like De'Aaron Fox is the one guy I boosted. I do feel like San Antonio is the only guy that I feel somewhat confident in their minutes. Just it's not that appealing, but like if he's going to be sub 10%, I'm still going to take that.
Allegedly, he's on Prize Picks.
Where? What? Why?
He's got a PRA on Prize Picks of 13.5.
Huh.
I have the over 63% of the time.
I like the over of that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a biscuit. That game starts in 5. Well, I guess it starts in 15 minutes because that's the world that we live in, Josh. But yeah, it technically locks for us in 5. So rip everything today. I'm definitely going to be jamming that after this and trying to get that over to the old Discord before.
Yeah, that one's not bad.
Lock. That's pretty darn good. I ended up with 82% Ethan Thompson. So really rip me.
Interesting. That's slightly more than my 5%.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So good times.
Well, here I can make it even sound more uncomfortable. Here I have 6 guys in one lone lineup. I'm only in the 4-point play today. I don't like playing bigger on live before locks. Sohan is one of them. That fits. J Huff is one of them. That fits. Sadiq Bey, Trey Murphy, Anthony Edwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you don't like money. That's good to know.
Probably not at this rate. I'm ultra balanced today.
That's fine. I totally get
heavy balance. Okay, we have about 1,700 people in here. Don't forget, we're not done on this Stokastic YouTube channel for today. In 15 minutes and change, we've got NFL Live Before Lock Monday Night Football Edition. Laffy's Birds going tonight against the Chargers. He and I whipped out a perfect lineup, got a bonus perfect lineup out. Go Chargers, obviously. So you don't want to miss that show. That's coming out. And also, I would be remiss to mention, you got to download the Tails app, guys. Totally free. This will cost you nothing. You can follow as many people as you want. All of their free picks can get posted, and you'll get all of them. This doesn't have to cost you anything, whether it's sports betting, pick'em, DFS. It's exactly where you could find Eric and all of his bets as well. So download the app, and if you do, leave a rating and a review. Helps us out a ton, and if you can get us to 1,000 ratings by Christmas, I would not be surprised if we do something kind of fun for it. S&P, 75% Raynaud, 55% Grayson Allen. Fun slate.
Yeah. And now I'm basically just jamming Pascal Siakam at power forward now too. So yeah, fun slate. Real fun slate. The guy that I probably wasn't going to have any stand on is now my highest owned spend up. That's really fun.
He is my second highest owned power forward at 20%.
Wow. Just jamming Julius Randle?
Now it's Randle at 35. It's just a wide net. Some Reed, some Keldon, some Keegan Murray, some Barnacle of the Bay.
How much Nemhard did you end up with?
35%.
Yeah, okay. I'm doing the exact same thing basically, but the Sims just gave me a lot more this last run, and I kind of like it as I'm looking at some of these lineups, but like I just didn't know if you had any kind of, because like for me, whatever reason, this Ethan Thompson thing needs to get trimmed a tiny bit.
I have all things Minnesota except for Ant. So like I hope he gets the poops immediately. Like there's nothing better than Ant going for like a layup and shitting his pants in minute 1. And just being like, oh, gotta go.
Holy shit. Did you see this underdog? Do you get NFL underdog alerts?
No.
I had a feeling you didn't. But I have a feeling you know this name. Phillip Rivers will visit the Indianapolis Colts.
To be like the GM?
To be the quarterback. Daniel Jones tore his Achilles yesterday. So, yeah. Wow.
Is Anthony Richardson not there anymore? I don't know anything about the NFL.
Anthony Richardson can't even like stretch in pregame warmups without whipping his face with a band. He ended up hurting his eye, whipping a band in his face. Right now, their backup is Riley Leonard, who of Notre Dame fame, or I think he was with Duke once upon a time too. But going through the roulette wheel, I did not have on the bingo card. Phil Rivers will visit the Colts. That is unfreaking believable.
Yeah. Look, I don't really follow the NFL all that closely, but even I know that's a fucking terrible idea.
He's like 40.
How old is he?
He's older than 45. He's like coaching football in Bama or something.
Well, yeah, he can field an entire team of his own children.
Sure can. Shout out the sex. 44 years old. 44 years old. He likes to nut. Just let it be known.
Dude, my guy. Just why? There's no. Look, that's a testament. If this could happen, that is a testament to how atrocious the quarterback position is in the NFL. If a 45-year-old Phillip Rivers can be resuscitated and go play an NFL game, you guys can keep the NFL at that point in time, man. No thanks.
Yeah, I'll have 100% of the defense going up against him, even though they'll just hand it off to Jonathan Taylor 35 times. Oh man, what a time to be alive. I just thought I'd share that.
Phillip Rivers. Jeff George not available. They couldn't get Ty Detmer.
Oh, I'd say a bad joke, but Steve McNair.
That's bonkers. Well, I was just naming old Colts quarterbacks. You're just naming people we can't name.
Yep. Well, there's that.
That's nuts. That's insane. We're locked on the NBA side. That one's a weird one. Eric, tell the people where to find you.
You can follow me at Eric Lindquist over on X. You can follow me, Lindy, over on Tails. Good times. We'll be hanging out there. I'm going to be jumping in Discord here, trying to figure out what to do with this prize picks goodness here, see what I can pair it with in the NFL streets as well. But check out Josh as well over at Tails. Good stuff from both of us, I think, on a daily basis, putting some good content out there. JJ McCarthy, of course, just absolutely burned me yesterday. That was pain, suffering personified. But anyway, I'm ready to rock for this slate. Best of luck to you. And let's see. Yeah, you heard what I said, Freemason. You heard what I said.
Enjoy the night, everybody. Reminder, NFL live before lock in 13 minutes and 50% off PEV with the promo code 200. Good luck, y'all. Get your late swaps in. We'll talk to you later.